time somebody does what we ask, out of guilt, shame, duty, obligation, fear of punishment, anything that people do for us out of that energy, we're going to pay for it. See, we want people to do for us only when they're connected to a kind of a divine energy that exists in all of us. And this divine energy is manifest to me by this joy we feel in giving to one another. We're not doing it to avoid punishment, guilt, and all of those things. Now, some people cannot believe that you can have order in the house and the government unless you do force people to do things, make demands. For example, one mother I was working with, she said, "But Marshall, that's all very well and good, you see, to hope that people are going to respond out of divine energy. But what about a child? I mean, a child has to first learn what they have to do, what they should do." This mother was using two of the words or concepts that I think are the most destructive: have to, should. So she didn't trust that there's divine energy in children as well as in adults, so that they can do things not because they're going to be punished if they don't, but because they see the joy that comes from contributing to other people's well-being. So I said to the mother, "I hope today I can show you other ways of presenting things to your children so that it's more a request. They see your needs. They don't do it because they think they have to. They see the choice and they respond out of this divine energy within themselves." She says, "I do all kinds of things every day that I hate to do, but there just are some things you have to do." I said, "Could you give me an example?" She said, "Okay, here's one. When I leave here this evening, I have to go home and cook. I hate to cook. I hate it with a passion. But it's just one of those things you have to do. I've done it every day for 20 years. I hate it, but you have to do certain things." See, she wasn't doing that out of divine energy. She was doing that out of this other kind of consciousness. So I said to her, "Well, I'm hoping I can show you today a way of thinking and communicating that will help you get back in touch with your divine energy and make sure that you only come out of that, and that you can then present things to others so that they can come out of that energy." She was a rapid student. She went home that very night, announced to her family that she no longer wanted to cook. I got some feedback from her family. About 3 weeks later, who shows up at a training but her older two sons? They came up before the training and said to me, "We want to tell you how much change in our family has occurred since our mother came to your workshop." "Oh, yeah, I've been very curious. She told me that all the changes she's been making in her life since I showed her how to come out of a certain energy whenever she does things and not to do things because she thought she had to. And I'm always wondering how that affects other family members. So I'm glad you guys showed up tonight. For example, what was it like that first night when she came home and said she no longer wanted to cook?" The oldest son said to me, "Marshall, I said to myself, thank God." I said, "Help me understand how you came to that." He said, "I said to myself, now maybe she won't complain after every meal." So when we do things, it doesn't come out of this divine energy in each of us, this divine energy that makes compassionate giving natural. When we come out of this culturally learned patterns of doing things because we should, have to, must, to get rewards, out of guilt, out of shame, duty, obligation, everybody pays for it, everybody. So nonviolent communication wants us to be clear. Don't respond unless it's coming out of this divine energy. And you'll know it is when you are willing to do it. Even if it's hard work, it will be joyful if our only motive is to make life more wonderful.